Hey there, Matt here with 5280 Armory. Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of Smith & Wesson's newest pistols on the market today. It's the Performance Center Competitor chambered 9mm. Out of the box, we're going to talk about the features that you're going to find and what's different from its predecessor, the M2.0 metal that hit the market earlier this year. For starters, you're going to notice that the Competitor is a larger pistol, but it doesn't feel like it weighs as much. That's because, believe it or not, it doesn't. There actually is only about 1 ounce difference between the two, but I would have thought it was at least a couple of ounces. So that must be in the way that it's all balanced out. The Competitor comes in at 29 ounces, while its predecessor, the metal, comes in at 30. Both models have the identical metal frame. Comes in at about 18 degrees on the angle, which is very similar to the two military pistols that came before it, the Beretta M9 and the 1911. The most obvious thing that you're going to notice that's different about the Competitor is the magwell. Now, most of you are not going to want to remove this magwell. You're probably going to enjoy that it's there in the first place, especially when it comes to competitions. But if you want to change out the backstrap, you will have to remove that to do that. The lever on the magwell would have you believe that you could remove it by just using your finger. This one's quite stiff, and maybe in time that'll be the case. But it is designed to be removed or twisted with an Allen key, and that's a good thing because this one is kind of hard. As you can see, I'm pushing on it, and it's not given. Now, we're going to talk more about this in our disassembly video that'll be coming up later. The front strap of the grip is polymer. Its texture is identical to the back strap. It's aggressive, but it's finely stippled, and it's pretty much just like all the M2.0s before it. Moving up to the magazine release, this too is different. It's an oversized button, and I find it to be perfectly located to engage without changing my grip. This is a must for me because I find that it just takes me too much time to change my grip back and forth in between mag changes. I do think, however, I might consider lightening the tension on the spring. The magazine release is reversible, by the way, and it's nice that the manufacturers are beginning to notice that not all shooters are right-handed. You'll need an Allen key to reverse it to the other side. The trigger guard is slightly undercut at the front strap, and if you look really closely, you'll notice that they beveled it just a little bit to knock off some of that sharp edge. Wouldn't have hurt my feelings if they had gone a little bit further on that beveling. It just makes it more comfortable when you get into that grip. The trigger shape between the two models is the same. Mostly flat where your trigger finger meets the trigger, and it does have the trigger style safety. This particular model does not have a manual safety, and I'm not sure if Smith & Wesson ever intends to make one with a manual safety. We'll just have to wait and see. And although they do look similar, they are a little bit different. The trigger on the Competitor is about a pound lighter, and that sear is just a little bit smoother. It's hard to put into words, but on the M2.0 metal, the reset on that trigger is more audible and tactile. I can feel it and I can hear it. By comparison, the Competitor, much smoother and much quieter. I really have to pay attention to hear it. Smith & Wesson calls this a crisper let-off on the trigger. Right above the trigger, you're going to find the takedown lever, and behind that is the slide catch or release if you prefer. And lefties rejoice again. There you go. They remembered you. Slide stop on the left-hand side, and above it is the external extractor. At the back of the frame, you'll notice an adequate beaver tail, if that's what you want to call it. It's nowhere near as aggressive as, say, maybe a Steyr 9A2 series. Those are really aggressive to obtain that low bore access to grip ratio. At the front of the frame, both pistols have the same accessory rail. 3 Picatinny rail slots, and that should be good enough for most lights and lasers out there on the market today. Sitting on top of the frame is going to be the stainless steel slide, and this is where Smith & Wesson has reduced much of that overall weight. Both pistols have a lightning cut running most of the length of the slide, but by comparison to the M2.0 metal, the Competitor is much more aggressive, giving it a much more slender view from the top down. The Competitor also received 2 more lightning cuts running down the length of the top of the slide, about 2.5 inches long, giving you the impression that this pistol must be ported, but it's not. The slide forward of the frame received 3 more lightning cuts at the 9 and 3 o'clock position, as well as aggressively chamfering the bottom. Both pistols received front cocking serrations, but at a closer glance you'll notice that aesthetically they are a little bit different. The M2.0 metal received the standard workhorse 3-dot sights. The Competitor got an upgrade, green high-vis front, blacked out square notch in the rear, and both are adjustable. The two of them are optics ready. I don't think you can get either model without it being optics ready, The way things are going nowadays, I think this is going to become more of a standard feature rather than an option. At 5 inches long, the Competitor's barrel is about 3/4 of an inch longer than that of the metal. It's got a 1 in 10 twist, and it's got a loaded chamber indicator. This is the same indicator that you'll find on all the M2.0s, but without light, to look down inside the port, it's pretty much useless. The Competitor will fit most M&P9 holsters, but if it doesn't have an open bottom, it'll have to be a 5-inch variation. And don't forget, it's got this oversized mag release, and that might argue with some tightly fit holsters. The Competitor's case is substantially nicer, hard-sided, oversized, lockable, form-fitted for the pistol, and has room for extra magazines by comparison to the cardboard box that its little brother received. The package comes with a total of 4 17-round mags, or 10-round mags if you live in a restricted state, 4 interchangeable back straps, the M2.0 core screw and plate kit for your optics, and just in case you don't like the magazine well or the oversized mag release, it comes with a mag release that's going to be similar to the M2.0 metal and the disassembly tool that you're going to need if you remove the magazine well. Well, I think we've covered just about most of the features that people are going to be interested in. So join us in our next video. We're going to put these features to the test. We're going to shoot it and let you know what we think about it. 5280 Armory, Colorado's Gun Shop. We'll see you soon. Hey, and don't forget, if you like watching videos about firearms and supporting your Second Amendment, or you're from another country and wish you had a Second Amendment, do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep this channel going. And thanks for watching.